I'm Minhass and welcome back to another episode on Can You Dig It? Ladies and gentlemen, on this episode is a full guide how to build this, I'm going to be biased, amazing, beautiful L-seater, banqueting, dining chair, bench, whatever you want to call it. It's a full how-to guide. I'll explain everything, including the backs, the seats, and you know how we've thrown this together. So yeah guys, stick around for that and we'll get straight into the build. Right guys, okay, so to start the corner seat, we need to start with making the basic frame, and as you can see I've started doing that. I'm using 3x2, again this is going for an L shape. It can be whatever size you want, and it's just held together at the moment with M6 110mm screws. And I'm just piecing it together with a drill and driver set. I've used my mitre saw to cut it all down, and a little bit of, well, we need to be really careful when cutting, you know, the uprights and the horizontal supports as well. I set up a stop block. I just wanted to make sure every piece was exactly the same, obviously making sure that it's all square at the end. So yeah, I've just got, I've done one side of the longer one. We just need to put that across the top, and then I can start putting in the internal support beams as well. So yeah guys, I'll get on with that. Okay guys, so after the two frames done, frames, carcass, skeletons, whatever you want to call them, it's the basic frame, nice and solid, nice and square, and now we're going to move over to start applying some of the trim guys. We're going to put the front faces on both sides of the larger and the smaller one, and we've got 4 identical end pieces for each of the ends. I'm going to start with putting the ends on first guys, and you need to watch out if you're going to attempt something like this yourself. Once I put the ends on each end, it's going to make the overall length a little bit longer, isn't it? And I've added for that when cutting the front faces, adding on 18mm for the 9mm thickness on each end. And yes guys, it's 9mm MDF. It's paint grade, so you know, no need for any fancy plywoods with veneers. It's going to be painted, no one's going to see it. I am going to put a back on them as well at this side. You're thinking, well, you know, it's going up against the wall, is there any need? Yes and no guys, it depends. Depending on, you know, where it's going. Is it going in a garage or conservatory, whatever, it doesn't matter. But if there's a wall, I want to try and protect the wall as much as possible for the customer, so I'm going to put a back on, and you know, with the storage lids coming up this way, you know, feel free to just throw things in without fear of anything you throw in hitting the wall and, you know, denting some good plastering or paintwork. So I did use large screws for this with the drill and driver set, but for this little bit guys, I'm using my 18 gauge DeWalt pneumatic brad nailer. I'm using 25mm brads, so yeah, it's more than enough to go through that and to make a good fixing on this. And guys, with tools like this, you know, high pressure, very dangerous, got to make sure my hands are out of the way, because that packs a punch guys, and you know, safety first as always. So I'm going to put these on. Yeah, I'm going to get set up and have some fun with that. Cool. had much time to work outside, but things are starting to pick up. What have we done since the last time? We've added the panelling, as in the big sheets of the MDF, and as you can see we've started to add the textured panels. And again, pretty simple. We're bradding them in 15mm brads with some glue, clamps obviously to hold it in place, and we're going to do the top one and the bottom one first, and then we're going to have to measure, the verticals independently. Reason being, it might be a half a mil of discrepancy, and it'll just save on the filling of the wood with wood filler and stuff like that. So yeah, we want to try and get these on the verticals to be as a tight fit as possible. Cool. Hopefully no interruptions. Okay guys, so top, bottom and the two verticals I've put down. Now I haven't put that one down yet. Reason being is obviously it's going to join up together like that, and I kind of want that to be in the middle so that we get it nice transition from this piece to that one. Yeah. Right guys, so that's the larger of the two boxes done. They're both done in terms of the panelling on the sides and on the front. And remember, that side's going to get butted up against the short one, so I haven't put any panelling on that side. And the same with this side's going to go against the wall. Next thing now guys is to start working on the lid and well, how we're going to figure out how we're going to lift it up. So first thing I've done is got some pine here. One thing to mention is the seat's going to be 23mm thick on both of them, so we've got to make sure the back support beam is also 23mm thick. And the hinges we buy, again, we've got to make sure that we can chisel them out nicely and they're not going to be too big over here. And measurements for this guys, again, it's all customizable to whatever you want. I've cut this at 75mm wide, and you'll see why in a sec. So again, that'll get screwed down. I'll either go from the top or from the bottom, most likely from the bottom, and then it's just a case of the glue up. So this is going to get glued together. This is oak. You see it starting to take shape. So the reason I went for 75 on the back is it gives me about 10mm here. And that's something to grab onto and lift up. I might leave it like that. I might add another way of lifting it up, whereby we've got a handle or something, but most likely I'll leave it as that, guys. I do quite like it. With the glue up, obviously these boards have been planed, and they're as straight as can be, so we just need to make sure we get plenty of clamps on, and we're going to put support clamps across, all the way across, as well as the ends, and yeah, it's just gluing it together. So let me set that up and let's get that on the go. Cool, and that's doing the tops, guys. Okay guys, so that's everything glued up and clamped together. Remember guys, we don't want to over tighten, you don't want to keep cranking the clamps down, just enough to get a nice bead of glue, and you'll be able to feel through the clamp handles yourself how much pressure there is. And again, I've used these wooden battens you can see going across. They've got plastic tape on the inside, sheathing tape, and that's going to prevent the wood sticking to the glue, but more importantly, it acts to keep it flat from You can see I've got one at each end, and then one in the middle, two in the middle. So I've got 4 horizontals and just as many verticals as well. So yeah, we're going to leave that to dry overnight, guys. And it's looking quite flat. I'm not going to wipe off the glue with a wet cloth, as you see. A lot of people advise. I'm going to leave it. It's quite fun letting it dry. Not dry solid, but enough so you can get a chisel and take off those little bits. Brilliant. Although it does look quite flat, guys. Okay guys, so you've just seen me glue these together, and they've dried overnight, and I've spent about a day sanding them both down. Started with 80 grit, moved up to 120, 180, and finishing at 240, just to give it that extra smoothness. And now I'm going to put I think I'm going to put Danish oil on this, guys. But the next thing now is, guys, these are the tops, and remember they're going to be foldable. So I've got the hinges here. We now need to set the hinges in. I think they're about 2 mil thick, so we need to obviously recess out either end. And yeah, so these fit nice and flush. And I've done a little test piece. I was going to use a hand chisel, guys, but I've got a router, so I'll be using that if I can open it up. While I'm trying to figure this out, guys, open this up. I have done a little test piece already. I'm not sure if you can see that there, but I've already had a go with the router. Guys, this has been really fiddly, but there you go. So with the router, guys, you just need to make sure that once you've got it set up, that your bit, sorry, whatever you want to kind of route out is the same level. But again, if we're not too trusting with that, then like I said, I've done the test piece. That fits in nice, and it's nice and flush as well. Guys, safety always, so I've got ear defenders and my mask as well. So I'm just going to make sure everything's good to go, and we'll set this off, guys. Right guys, so that's those done, and as you can see, not bad. Would have took a little bit longer with the chisel. I don't know if the results would have been just as neat, but that's really good. Just to have a look, there's a little bit of wiggle, obviously we wanted that, and you'll have noticed I didn't take it all in one pass. I wanted it to be nice little fit. I didn't want to go too wide because that would have had too much wobble sideways. What about this one? Again, guys, nice and flush. Brilliant. What next? Next is oiling the tops, attaching the lids, and I think we're done, and then we're ready to paint. Okay guys, so it's time to put some oil on these tops and give it a nice look, enhance the grain pattern a little. We've gone for this Danish oil. Like it says, it's natural, low luster finish. Don't know what that means, but I've used it before and it comes out really good. Some instructions there if you want to pause that to have a look. So yeah, I'll give it a little shake. For a sec, guys, what I'm not going to keep touching it, but I've made sure it's nice and clean. I've aired it down, and I even used some white spirit, and that's burnt off as well. So it can't be any cleaner. Obviously, I've got to be quick, just natural dust in the air and stuff. But let's go. So we've just got ourselves just a cloth here, and again, where should we start? Well, it doesn't matter. We're going to do it all. I'm just going to pour it on and just work it in, guys, and you can see already, yes, it's brilliant. So yeah, nice even coverage. Allow maybe 2 hours in between. We're going to wipe off any excess after a couple of minutes, and we're going to give it 3 coats in total, guys. It's going to be sat on a lot, it's going to get a lot of traffic, and we just want to make sure we get as much of that oil to soak into the fibres as much as we can. Very nice, guys, very nice. So when you're pouring it on like this, guys, you want to work it in nice and quickly. You don't want to let it sit for too long, otherwise it can make a little mark as to where it's kind of sat. Another thing I've done, guys, I don't know if the camera's showing, but when I was sanding, I smoothed it over. You know, it's going to be sat and it's going to kind of, if it was sharp, it might hurt the back of your knees. So it's nice and rounded. Not with a router bit, done that with just a random orbital sander. It wants to have a bit of a rough look, nothing too fine of a profile. Guys, what do you think? Looks absolutely amazing. I'm just going to wipe off the excess. You don't want it to get too sticky. And it's only the first coat, guys, so a nice light first coat. And we'll just make sure we spend a little bit more time on the others. Brilliant. Right, guys, so you've just seen the tops being oiled and how we figured out the hinges and stuff. It's done. We just now need to think about finishing. So it's paint grade. We're going to paint them, and just to make sure we get the best finish possible, we've gone round and filled in the brad nail holes as well as the joins between the two panel boards. Slight gaps, a little bit of filler, sand it back, bit of paint, you're never going to know. So yeah, nearly there. So sand this back and get ready for, well, primer, undercoat, and then top coat. Right, guys, so next step is to move on with the panelled back now. So the seats are pretty much done and painted, and now we're going to make a back. So again, we've got ourselves set up on this afternoon, and off we go. Okay guys, so you can see there that's the larger of the two back panels complete. We've got equal spacing across each one, a little bit fiddly measuring out as you saw, but just have to make sure measuring multiple times. But yeah, everything's nice and square, and a little bit of a tedious job now is going over and filling in all these pinholes. Cool, so guys, I'm not going to show you that, we have already seen filling in and things like that, so I'll get this one sanded and filled and the other one as well. Back with you shortly. Guys, so that's the backs done. Again, you saw me put those together earlier. That's now been filled in and sanded back, just to get a bit of a sneak peek as to the final look. The back there, they're going to be attached to the wall behind it. But, not bad. Coming along absolutely brilliant. Paint looks amazing. So next time you see this now, guys, it should be done. We're going to get that primed, painted, get it stuck on the wall, hopefully for a big reveal. Guys, the backs are now on the wall as well. To attach them, nice and straightforward. Whilst they're off the wall, obviously, we just drill our holes where we want them, try and keep them, you know, equal distance all the way around so it doesn't look odd from afar. Pre-drill your holes, offer it up to the wall, making sure it's nice and level. As you can see there, nice and perfect. So when you offer it back up to the wall, just drill through the holes, mark the wall here. You can take it back off, drill and plug your holes, offer it back up to the wall, and I've used M6 50mm screws for that. Another thing, guys, the bottom screws, they're going to be hidden, as you can see there. We've actually gone a little bit behind the seat, so we hide the bottom screws, and if you want you can fill those top ones as well. So there you go, guys, that was attaching the back. And there you have it, guys. So that's how I built this. Again, it's fully customizable. It can be whatever sizes you want, whatever color you want. You can, you know, customize how many panels you want along the front, what would you want to use for the seats, whether you want it to be storage or fixed, that's entirely up to you guys, but the basics hopefully you picked up from this video. Guys, thanks for watching this episode, and if you like what I do, then please check out some of the other videos flying around. Feel free to like and subscribe to the channel here. Guys, I'm Minhass, this has been Can You Dig It, and this is my L-shaped badminton chair. Take care.